When it comes to electric trucks, I think the Chevy Silverado EV is the best electric truck that money can buy as of today. I know a lot of you guys that watch my videos are like,
Cybertruck. Why wouldn't you say Cybertruck?
All that I own are Teslas. I have 5 Teslas right now in my family. We do not have the Cybertruck. But the first thing you need to know is this is the Chevy Silverado work truck. And this is a totally different Chevy Silverado electric truck. It is the RST. You can see it right here. It's a little frustrating sometimes as somebody that covers a lot of cars that every company has a different name, and it can get super confusing because when you hear Chevy Silverado, you think, okay, they're all basically the same, but they're not. If you've driven in the work truck, it's nice, but it's more for like a city job or somebody that's in construction and your company provided this with you. It needs to be able to be cleaned easily, and it costs like $20,000 less than what this one does. This is the retail consumer version Silverado, and it has all the bells and whistles. This one came out early fall last year, and this one is just coming out right now. I think some of the people, when I talk about Silverado RST being the best electric truck in the world, they think that I'm talking about the work truck, which it's a really good truck, but it's still not as good as this. Is the Cybertruck better than this? It's probably more comfortable. It's probably the thing that you would want to buy if you're comparing the two of them when you're not doing truck things. I did a full road trip inside of this truck. Me and my friend Zach from Jerry Rig Everything spent 12 hours driving this truck from Las Vegas, Nevada, all the way through the desert until we got to Phoenix, Arizona, and legitimately ran out of energy. I mean, completely to zero. So one huge advantage that this has is the battery is absolutely massive. The stated range is 440 miles range on one charge. Over 200 kilowatts of battery storage inside of there, where the Tesla Cybertruck, I think it's around 140, maybe 150. And Chevy did something really interesting. They're not just saying you can get up to 440, they're saying this is what the range is, and it turns out they're a bit under-promising and over-delivering what the actual specs are. 440 is actually a pretty realistic thing. We drove it on the road. We had 20-mile-an-hour winds. We drove up to 83 miles an hour at certain times on the highway. And yeah, we drove on some 55-mile-an-hour roads too, but we got 462 miles with 2 of us in there, all of our luggage, and driving in totally different weather conditions throughout the day. I drove the Cybertruck on a 13-hour road trip. We had to stop and charge so many times from Los Angeles to Salt Lake City, and we never even got close to 300 miles. We were lucky to get close to 270 miles range on a full charge on the Cybertruck. It was really inefficient, and you combine that with having the small battery, I was just really disappointed. If Tesla would have never said the Cybertruck is going to have 500 miles range, maybe I wouldn't be so disappointed with having 270 miles range, but when they say you have 440 and you get 460, I am pumped. The suspension on this makes for a really comfortable ride on the highway. Another thing that this truck has that the Cybertruck doesn't is this has Super Cruise, which on a lot of highways, it works very, very well. I wasn't allowed to talk about my ride impressions in the last video. I can tell you, you're just cruising down the road, and I think this does a really good job at naturally navigating, changing lanes and navigating on the highway as almost like human-like. And Super Cruise is hands-free, where with Tesla, it gives you like this nag. Like every minute, it's like, are you here? Touch the wheel, and you have to grab it and like move it just a little bit. Tesla Autopilot does work well, and I use it in my cars all the time. I am not hating on the Tesla Autopilot. But for the Cybertruck, it hasn't been enabled as of filming this video because they rushed the truck out to the public so quickly that you don't have some of the basic functions when you're driving on the freeway. This comes with Chevy Super Cruise available, and it is in hands-free driving. Oh. It's so hot in here. This camera right here is looking at your eyeballs. It's looking at your eyes to make sure that you're looking at the road and it isn't super annoying while you're driving. Now it's not on all the roads. It's not available everywhere, but when I use it on the highway, it works really, really good. Some other things that this has that the Cybertruck doesn't. This does have a 17.1-inch screen that goes across. It has Google Maps, really good. If you're going on a long trip, it'll tell you where you need to charge, how much juice you'll have when you get there, similar to what a Tesla has from a software perspective. But this feels like a premium truck when you're spending $100,000, which is the same as a Cybertruck. Wow, I have barbecue sauce on my hand, my arm. Wow, that's gross. The thing that makes this premium is not only do you have a screen right here, but you have one right here in front of you that tells you how fast you're going. This is not my truck. I was not listening to Fifth Harmony. That is a nice thing that I wish the Cybertruck had, because looking over is not ideal. It doesn't feel as premium as what the S and the X feels like with the screen in front of the steering wheel. The other thing that it has And I don't know if you can see it here, but there is a heads-up display. This giant box right here projects some images up onto the windshield so that when you're driving, you can actually see. Now, some people may not love that. I think it's pretty cool. The next thing that I like about this over the Cybertruck, check this out. Well, I can zoom in to the water there. But this is a nice video camera. And then if I flip it like this, oh, look at that. The Cybertruck has a rear view camera, but it is on the screen. It's like this little segment on the screen. It is not up here, which is like every other car in the world. It's not very easy to see what you're trying to see behind you. The second thing about the Cybertruck is that it has that electronic tonneau cover, which is really cool, but it's really bad for visibility. All you're seeing is the black. That part of it is a little frustrating about the Cybertruck. I know it sounds like small things, and it is. The next key feature that the Cybertruck does not have that the RST has, that's amazing. This is one of the coolest features. Ow, not that. Oh, this one too. And then, pop that up, and bam. I did it myself. Look at that. This opens into the truck bed. Right now it has a cover on it, but this opens up. So you could pop the glass off, put it onto here. Jason put some footage of it from the last trip. How amazing is it that you can open this up and have over 10 feet of storage inside of here? I can open up just one of these and have the cover and people don't even know that it's open. This allows you to do more truck things. And I think it's really cool that right now for the same price, you get this feature and you don't get that in the Cybertruck. This is where you plug this in. It doesn't have the charging port that you use with Teslas yet. That should be coming. They didn't give me a time frame, but it sounds like it might be later this year or early next year where they're gonna change the port on here. But it is compatible with Tesla superchargers. But something that I found out on our road trip, how long does it stay at the high rate of charge before it starts dropping down? The Tesla 4680 batteries, they had a lot of promises. It sounded like it was really good, but the charging curve has not been as good in the Cybertruck and the Model Ys with those batteries as what the other batteries get. Like with this, in 10 minutes, you get 100 miles because it charges up to 350 kilowatts. One, it's a much bigger battery, so you can keep it charging at a higher rate for longer. But then two, I think there's something wrong with the 4680s as far as taking high rates of charge for a long amount of time that this doesn't have. If you charge for 30 or 40 minutes, you can get to 80% charge. Well, let's do the math here. Let's say 360 miles of range in 30 minutes or 40 minutes, right around there, where the Cybertruck doesn't even get 360 miles range if you charged it for an hour, hour and 15 minutes, hour and 30 minutes. Oh, and another thing, this has bi-directional charging. If this one is dead on the side of the road, you could roll up with this, get the adapter, plug it in. We did that on our road trip when it ran out of energy. But not only that, bi-directional charging for a house. I saw this in action last night. They were able to run all of the power inside of a house using this battery. That trailer right there, that's like a fifth wheel trailer that's on back of that Silverado, that is completely being run by the energy inside of the RST. And it's 100,000 right now, but the prices are gonna come down as they come out with some of the ones with maybe not every single option. Look at the grill on that. I don't know, can you guys tell that? I'd say mostly down around here. This one is definitely more plastic and basic right here. And then the RST, it's meaner looking. It only has a rated 10 miles less range on here versus here, but look at the difference in the wheels. I'm pretty sure these are 24-inch wheels right here. Those are massive, 24-inch. These ones are much smaller, which are going to get you better range. Look at the difference in the wheel sizes. Wheel sizes, the bigger the wheel, a lot of times it means the heavier everything is and the less efficient it is. And so you lose miles from that. Inside of the work truck, it is a lot more basic. It does have two screens up there, but the screen is not the 17-inch big one. This work truck, the seats go up right here like the Cybertruck does, but that's it. This wall and this glass does not open and does not go down. It is just one big piece right there, just like a normal truck. So the truck bed is a lot smaller than what this one is when you can open up the mid-gate. This thing can be sprayed out with a hose, basically. I mean, look at that. Everything in here is pretty basic, somewhat plastic. Also, it does not have a glass roof. It is covered, where if you look over here into the RST, look at the roof. Glass, it does not open, but my goodness, you don't expect that in a truck. A big old glass roof. That is very, very premium. Look at the seats. The stitching is really nice. It's perforated seats, tons of legroom. I was sitting in this driving this. I didn't move the seat up. And look how much more room I have, and I'm tall, 6'2". And even back here, there are heated seats. Watch this. Push that button. Opens up the front trunk. That's right. There's a lot of space inside of here. I don't know if that's like some sort of drainage or something, probably for liquids, but there you go. There's a big old trunk to store things in, tons of storage. Does this one have that? I don't even know. Honestly, I don't even know if this opens. Do you know, can you open that? Sure. Maybe try on the inside, see if there's a button. Front trunk, opening up. Look at that. Nice to have storage in the front trunk that is protected. People don't think to steal stuff from somebody's front trunk. If you're gonna break a window and get into something in a truck, you're gonna try and find something in the back seat or something in the truck bed. A lot of people don't think about this space, and I've come to love it over the last 7 or 8 years that I've driven electric cars. I love having a front trunk to be able to store stuff in, and a lot of times I'll put valuables like my computer and stuff in there when I'm gone that I don't think people will find in there. So far, so good. Nobody's found it. But I guess now you know, if you ever find my car, that's where the valuables are.